Hey, what's up everyone? Nick here. Welcome back to the Fellowship trick-taking game. Last video we made it through Chapter 4, so let's go ahead and take on Chapter 5.
Chapter 5. There was not as yet any sign of a path, and the trees seemed constantly to bar their way. Pippin suddenly felt that he could not bear it any longer, and without warning let out a shout. "Oi! Oi!" he cried. "I am not going to do anything, just let me pass through, will you?" Chapter 5. The Old Forest. Characters: Frodo, Tom Bombadil, Sam, Merry, Pippin. Threat: Black Riders 1 through 4. Victory: short, finish all chosen characters. Setup: follow the instructions for the Old Forest event on the Old Man Willow card. Old Man Willow. Frodo and Sam beat first upon the tree trunk where Pippin had lain. They then struggled frantically to pull open the jaws of the crack that held poor Merry. It was quite useless. Old Man Willow. Setup: take the 8 forest cards and the Old Man Willow card and shuffle them into a face-down Old Forest deck. We'll deal it as normal, solo play. Old Man Willow. For each trick, before the lead player has played their card, reveal the top card of the Old Forest deck. After all cards are played, if this forest card is higher than the rank of the winning card, not tied, no player wins the trick. Old Man Willow wins it. The leader of this trick leads again. The One of Rings can beat any card from the Old Forest deck. All right, what's up everyone? We are ready to start Chapter 5. Now, as you can already tell, this is where things get interesting. The setup has changed quite dramatically. We're gonna get to introduce a new character in a moment, but we also had an additional chapter setup, which was the Old Man Willow card. So, to kind of walk you through the setup here, I might move things around as the video goes, but right here, as always, we have our main deck, we have our threat cards ready to go, we have our Old Man Willow event, and then here is our Old Forest deck. So these cards here have been shuffled. I'll just go ahead and give them another little shuffle on camera, but there are 9 cards here. It's all 8 forest cards, and then a new card, which is the Old Man Willow card, which once it comes up, you'll see, looks like a 9 of forests. Then we have our characters over here ready to go as usual, and just a point from the last video, at the end of Chapter 4, I had a slight misplay where I accidentally led one of the tricks with Sam instead of Frodo. Ultimately, it didn't matter. I would have won either way, but I don't want to forget which character leads tricks moving forward. So I wanted to have a little token to use to put on each character after they win the trick so that I know who's going to lead. And sure enough, I had this lying around, a little copy of the One Ring that I had got through doing some kind of like a virtual running challenge. I digress, but anyway, it's pretty cool, pretty thematic. So we're gonna use this. And since Frodo leads the first trick, we're gonna put the ring starting on him. So I think that's pretty cool. All right, so now we can just go ahead and jump through the setup for Chapter 5. So we're gonna be introducing a new character here. Tom Bombadil, the Master. Win con: win 3 or more cards matching the same suit as one of the extra cards in your hand at the end of the round. His setup is to add the lost card to your hand, exchange with Frodo. So to kind of walk through this, because I had to read it quite a few times to actually understand, based on the number of players, you deal either 1 or 2 lost cards. Since we're playing with 4 characters, we're only going to have 1 lost card, and that lost card is going to be dealt to Tom Bombadil's hand during setup. So at the end of the round, Tom will have 1 leftover card in his hand, just like we saw with Gandalf back in Chapter 1. Now, it doesn't matter what that last card in his hand is, but he has to have won 3 or more cards of the same suit by the time that all rolls around. So, at the end of the game, if Tom has a mountain in his hand, we better have won 3 mountains, or Tom better have won 3 mountains in order to satisfy his win con. So, it's a little confusing, a little weird, but that's what we're going for. And if you can imagine if you were playing 3 players, Tom had 2 lost cards, it gives you a little more flexibility there. So that is Tom Bombadil. And now we're gonna go ahead and set things up. All right, So we're all set. We got everything we need to play. So let's go ahead and deal out our starting hand. First, we need to play our Lost card. So top card here, 6 of Shadow is going to be our Lost card. And now we can deal out everything else. All right, a lot of hills right off the bat. So I'm already trying to think in my head how I want to character assign. Probably Tom is the one you got to think about most, because you just got to think about what he's going to have the highest chance of ending with. So since we only have one lost card, that means he's only going to end with one card in his hand. So whatever that card is that he ends with, he better have won 3 of those throughout the course of the game. All right, so cards are dealt out. We have our Old Forest deck shuffled. We have our Lost card up here. Our characters are ready to assign. A good check that you set up things correctly. You should have 12 cards left in your main deck here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right. So when I look at this, I see, so Tom, I like what I see down here. There's a lot of hills, and there's also 2 8s, which gives us a good chance of winning right off the bat. I might go with that. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Tom start down here, and then we have Sam, Mary, and Pippin. So when I look at this hand, I actually kind of like taking Pippin here and putting him here, because I see a lot of low cards. There's 2 rings here, which I'm eager to give to Frodo. So we're going to try to go with Pippin. And then we're also, to avoid having to deal with a threat card, we're going to go with Mary right here. So Sam's not going to be a part of this chapter. If we remind ourselves, you saw them before, but Mary has to win 1 or 2 tricks, no more. Pippin has to win the fewest tricks or tied for the fewest tricks. And then Tom obviously needs to win what we said earlier, 3 of the same suit of whatever type of card is left in his hand at the end of the round. So now we have, we got to do setup. So Frodo's good to go. Mary exchanges with Frodo or Pippin. Pippin exchanges with Frodo or Mary, and Tom, add the lost card to your hand. So let's do that first. So Tom will get the 6 of Shadow. And then Tom's last option is to exchange with Frodo. So as I look here, what I'm planning on doing is I want to start right off the bat with Tom winning 3 hills, because that would just make me feel better with how many hills he has already. So we're going to do Pippin's exchange with Frodo, because Frodo's the only one without a hill. So Frodo, he'll give his 5, and then Pippin will take this 2 of Mountain, since he currently doesn't, Pippin will actually take the 2 of Shadow, because now, if Frodo leads later with a mountain and Pippin doesn't have any mountains, we can give him some rings. So, as I look at this, we've now done our exchange, so we're good to start. I was wanting to start right off the bat with Tom winning a bunch of hills, but the quicker you can get rings into play, the better. And right now, if Frodo were to play... okay, I think I like my original strategy. So we're going to try to go for that. So first things first, we're ready to start. We're going to flip over the top card of our forest deck, and it's a 2. So whatever card wins this trick, it has to be higher than a 2. So theoretically, this doesn't matter here, because Old Man Willow loses ties. So Frodo's going to lead with the 5 of hills. I guess it didn't matter that I gave him my only hill. I don't know what I was thinking, but I think we're okay. So Frodo's going to lead with the 5 of hills. Mary's gonna play his 2 of hills. Pippin does not have a hill. I don't want to play a ring because I don't want the ring to go to Tom. So Pippin will play his 5 of shadow. Let's just get rid of his highest card, since theoretically we don't really want Pippin winning. And then Tom will play his 8 of hills. So now 8 is higher than 2, so Tom will win this trick. So what we're gonna do, just kind of planning for the beginning, is we're gonna try to make sure that by the end of this chapter, Tom has a hill left in his hand, and then his win con will have been satisfied. So let's go ahead and deal our cards from the main deck. Oh, Tom won that trick, so I'm gonna put the token over here so that I know he leads the next trick. Really important to keep track of that as this game, as the board gets more and more complex as the game goes. So there's our cards. Let's go ahead and flip our Old Man Willow card, and it's the 6 of forests. So now, assuming we can keep a hill in Tom's hand, we'll be good with Tom. Pippin, we don't want him winning any. Mary needs to win at least 1, and Frodo needs to win some rings. So as I look here, we could get rings into play, or we could satisfy Mary's win con. Let's go ahead and get rings into... No, let's get Mary out of the way. Tom's going to lead with the 6 of shadow. Frodo, who does not have a shadow, will play the 4 of hills. We want to try to get rid of our hills now because if we don't lead with hills, then Tom doesn't have to play his hills. So that'll be good. Mary will play his 7 of shadow. And then Pippin will play his 2 of shadow. So now, I think that'll work. So now the winning card is a 7. It's higher than 6. So Mary will win this trick. We'll put the ring on him. And Mary has now won 1 trick. So his win con is satisfied. We'll deal out another round of cards. All right, yeah, I think we're in a good spot. We'll flip over the forest card. It is a 4 of forests. Mary's gonna lead this. So right now, we're gonna assume Tom is good, as long as he can keep a hill. Mary's good. Frodo just needs to start winning some rings. So as I look at what we have here, we can do something good here without even giving up the 1 ring. So Mary will lead with the 3 of shadow. Pippin doesn't have a shadow, so he'll play the 3 ring. So now rings are leadable. Tom also does not have a shadow, so Tom will play the 5 of rings. And then Frodo, without even needing to get rid of his ring, will play the 8 of shadow. 8 is higher than 4. 8 wins the trick, so Frodo will win this trick and get 2 rings. And then he still has the 1 ring to win, the other ones as they come up. So, he won this 4 too. That goes in Frodo's trick. And now we'll deal our final cards. So there's that last hill we were looking for. There's a ring. Okay, so now as I look at this, we're in a good spot. We can get this. I think we can do this. So reveal top card. We have the 3 of forests. I like all these low cards that are coming up. So right now, Frodo, all the cards are on the board. Tom just needs to hold on to this hill. So we need to make sure we're not leading with these hills. And we also want to make sure that Pippin's not going to be winning any tricks. And luckily Tom has a high hill here. So I say let's just satisfy... Let's just satisfy Frodo. I don't even think we need to worry about the trump card here. So Frodo will play the 1 ring, which means Mary will play the 4, and Pippin will play the 2. And then Tom, I want to keep these mountains so that he can beat Pippin if he needs to. So let's just get rid of the 1 of shadow here. So now, that's our trick. Now, normally, if we look at this, the winning card of the trick is the one ring, and one is not bigger than 3. But since the one ring is the trump card, it can win this. So we're going to say that Frodo wins this trick by playing the one ring, which means that Frodo's won all 5 rings. So Frodo's win con is now satisfied. He keeps that token. All our cards have been dealt. So we just have to play out the board. There's going to be 3 more tricks. We just need to make sure that Pippin doesn't win a lot and that Tom ends with one of these 2 hills, which I think we're going to be able to do. So flip the top card. We have the 8 of forests. So I think that's going to do it. So Frodo will lead with his 2 of mountains. Merry will play his 7. Pippin will play his 4, and then Tom will play his... Actually, now that I think about this, Tom would end up leading the next trick. I think what I might actually want to do is I was going to have Tom play the 8, but Tom's actually going to play the 5. So if Tom plays the 5, the winning card of this trick actually... Oh, but you know what? No, yeah. So if Tom plays the 5, the winning card of this trick becomes the 7 of mountains. And 7 is not higher than 8. So Old Man Willow would actually win this trick, and Frodo would lead again. Frodo leads with the 3. Tom wins that final trick, and then leads with a hill, and then we're good. So let's do that. So we're going to play that trick, which means Old Man Willow will win since he had the 8 of forests. So when Old Man Willow wins a trick, whoever led the last one leads again. So Frodo will lead this trick. We'll flip over this card. It's the 7 of forests. And now I think we're good. So Frodo will play the 3 of mountains. Merry will play the 6. Pippin will play the 1. And Tom will play the 8. So Tom, 8 is bigger than 7. So Tom will actually win that trick. And now we only have 1 hand left to play. Tom has 2 hills. Oh, Tom won that trick, so he'll get that. And now, flip this over. Doesn't really matter who wins here, so 5. So all we have to do is Tom will play the 3 of hills, Frodo will play 7, Merry will play 6, and Pippin will play a 4 of shadow. So Frodo wins that trick with a 7. 7 is bigger than 5. So Frodo wins that trick. And now, if we look at our board state here, Frodo won all 5 rings, he's good. Merry won 1 trick, so he's good. Pippin, he won 0 tricks, which means he did win the fewest, so Pippin's good. And Tom, he won the final card in his hand at the end of the chapter is a hill, and he won 3 hills throughout the game. So Tom's win con is also satisfied. So that one's definitely tough. A lot going on, but we made it through and we'll be able to continue on into chapter 6.
All right, there you have it. We made it through chapter 5, beat the Tom Bombadil Old Man Willow section, and so hopefully you enjoyed. As always, let me know what you thought in the comments down below, like and subscribe, and I will see you all in chapter 6.